China, a civilization so ancient, it predates Rome, the pyramids, and even the wheel in some parts of the world. It's a land of emperors and revolutions, of silk and steel, of invention and ideology. Today, we'll travel through more than 4,000 years of Chinese history, from its mythical origins to the modern global powerhouse it has become. Let's go way back to a time before history was written. Chinese tradition begins with three legendary rulers, the Yellow Emperor, Yao, and Shun. Were they real? Maybe not. But they represent virtues that Chinese civilization would value for thousands of years: wisdom, order, and harmony. Fast forward to around 2070 BCE, the Xia dynasty emerges. It's the first dynasty in Chinese records, but it's a bit murky in archaeological evidence. Still, it sets the tone: kingship, hierarchy, and control of the rivers, especially the mighty Yellow River. Then comes the Shang dynasty around 1600 BCE. This is the real deal: bronze tools, oracle bones, written Chinese characters, and a priest-king ruling system. It's the foundation of Chinese writing, spirituality, and political structure. But all dynasties fall. In 1046 BCE, the Zhou dynasty rises, bringing a new idea: the mandate of heaven. Basically, if a ruler is just, heaven approves; if he's not, he loses the mandate and rebellion is justified. A brilliant concept, and a dangerous one. By 500 BCE, China was fractured into battling states. It was chaos but also genius. This was the era of Confucius, Laozi, and Sun Tzu. Philosophy, warfare, and strategy flourished in this crucible. Then came a warlord who would change it all: Qin Shi Huang. Into 21 BCE, he unifies the warring states and becomes China's first emperor. He standardizes currency, measurements, even axle widths. He also begins the Great Wall and builds a tomb guarded by 8,000 terracotta soldiers. But he was brutal, burned books, buried scholars alive. And the Qin dynasty lasted only 15 years. Next came the Han dynasty to 106 BCE to 20 CE, one of China's golden ages. The Han emperors embraced Confucianism. They established civil service exams to select officials by merit, an early version of a bureaucratic meritocracy. Trade exploded along the Silk Road, connecting China to Rome. Paper was invented. Science, medicine, and art thrived. When the Han fell, China fractured again into chaos, leading to centuries of division, until the Tang dynasty 618 to 907 brought another golden age. Cosmopolitan cities, poetry, and openness to foreign ideas. Think of it as China's Renaissance 700 years before Europe had one. Then the Song dynasty 960 to 1279 brought innovation: gunpowder, the compass, printing, and even paper money. But they were militarily weak, which made them vulnerable. In the 1200s, Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire swept through Asia. His grandson, Kublai Khan, founded the Yuan dynasty in China, the first foreign dynasty to rule all of China. But the Mongols struggled to rule such a massive population. In 1368, a Buddhist monk led a rebellion and founded the Ming dynasty. The Ming restored Han Chinese rule and sent Zhang He, a Muslim admiral, on naval voyages across Asia and Africa decades before Columbus. But eventually, the Ming turned inward, building up the Great Wall and isolating from the world. In 1644, the Qing dynasty, ruled by the Manchu people from the northeast, took power. They expanded China's territory to its greatest size: Tibet, Xinjiang, Taiwan, all brought under imperial control. But the world was changing. In the 1800s, European powers, armed with modern weapons, forced open China's ports. The Opium Wars, the Treaty of Nanking, and the loss of Hong Kong began what the Chinese call the Century of Humiliation. Rebellions rocked the empire. The Taiping Rebellion killed 20 million people, yes, more than World War I. The Qing clung to power, but it was crumbling. In 1911, the last emperor, Pui, abdicated. China became a republic under Sun Yat-sen, but stability was short-lived. Warlords divided the land. Then came the rise of two giants, the nationalists under Chiang Kai-shek and the communists under Mao Zedong. A brutal civil war began, interrupted only by the Japanese invasion in 1937 during World War II, which devastated China. After the war, civil conflict resumed. In 1949, Mao declared the founding of the People's Republic of China. The nationalists fled to Taiwan. Mao's rule was dramatic and deadly. The Great Leap Forward aimed to industrialize quickly, but caused a famine that killed tens of millions. The Cultural Revolution targeted intellectuals and counter-revolutionaries, plunging China into chaos. Mao died in 1976. Then came Deng Xiaoping, who didn't care if a cat was black or white, as long as it caught mice. Under Deng, China opened up its economy, foreign investment came, cities rose. Hundreds of millions escaped poverty. China grew fast. Today, China is the world's second-largest economy. It's a tech powerhouse, a space explorer, a military force, and a cultural giant. But it's also facing challenges: an aging population, environmental issues, and tensions over freedom, surveillance, and global influence. The Chinese Communist Party remains in control. Xi Jinping, its most powerful leader since Mao, promotes the Chinese dream, reviving China's past greatness. From ancient emperors to communist revolutionaries, from silk scrolls to satellites, China's story is long, complex, and still unfolding. It is a land where the past walks with the present, and where every dynasty leaves echoes that still shape the world today.